Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
The Second Amendment has now become a target for additional restrictions. I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action, to talk about this critical liberty that the founders realized was important to maintain our freedom. Matt, President Obama is now saying that gun control is one of the top priorities on his agenda now as president, and he will push gun control for stricter regulations. Dianne Feinstein, liberal Democrat, also said that she is going to propose a bill that will register guns, also restricting certain kinds of magazines that hold a certain number of rounds and so forth. This is a battle that's coming, and this is a battle we need to be prepared for because it is a direct attack on our liberty.
Yeah, Matt, you know, Rahm Emanuel, mayor of Chicago, former chief of staff of President Obama, famously said that you never let a good crisis go to waste. And the left is notorious for when we have one of these tragedies where an evil person takes the lives of innocents using a gun or some other type of, a firearm, rifle, handgun, whatever, the left jumps on the opportunity. They're almost drooling, can hardly contain themselves to jump on the opportunity to exploit these tragedies, to push for their goal, and that is to completely disarm, trample over the Second Amendment, disarm America. We see it again. They're using the Sandy Hook, the horrific Sandy Hook tragedy. They're using the theater shooting, Batman shooting in Colorado, and other tragedies in order to try to disarm law-abiding citizens, to try to criminalize gun ownership by law-abiding citizens.
And Liberty Counsel, we've just prepared a new bumper sticker, so you can call and get that or email us at the website. Go to lc.org, and you can find the contact information for Liberty Counsel right there. Or you can call 800-671-1776 and ask for the bumper sticker. And it says, I second the first, and underneath it, it says, amendments worth defending. And it has a patriot standing there on the left side of that bumper sticker. It really says a lot. The two amendments that are under attack, one of them that we're going to be talking about today, the Second Amendment, we're also going to be talking about the First Amendment tomorrow, is very important to defend. What they ultimately want to do is to use the tragedy of the shooting at the elementary school. And certainly that is a tragedy, no question about it. But it's not the gun that's the problem. If you take away the guns, they'll use something else. If you go look at some of the articles that are coming out of China right now, they're not using guns, they're using knives. People are going into the schools and killing kids with knives. So are they going to ban knives now? If they don't use knives, they'll use fertilizer, like Timothy McVeigh did.
Yeah.
They get typical fertilizer that you put on the ground and make some kind of bomb out of it. If you have someone who wants to ultimately do harm, it's not going to stop it by taking away the vehicle in which they're doing the harm. This goes back to a moral crisis that we have in America. That's the problem.
Yeah,
certainly we have to look at issues such as mental health, but also the moral crisis is ultimately the root cause.
Yeah, that's it. We've taken prayer out of school. We have a nation, the ACLU, pushing to remove any reference to God, any reference to the Ten Commandments. First and foremost, one of the "Thou shalt not kill," commit murder. But yet they want to remove the Ten Commandments from any public forum. Our nation is sick to the core, Matt. The other day I was at the shooting range here in Lynchburg, Virginia. And it occurred to me, I just have never heard about somebody losing their mind and going berserk and trying to start taking out people at a shooting range. That just doesn't happen. It's these gun free zones with the big signs. We're a safe gun-free zone. Well, the people are sitting ducks in a gun-free zone for these nuts to come in and start shooting up the place. And yet we have President Obama recently saying, when Wayne LaPierre with the NRA suggested that maybe we can post some armed guards at schools around the country, and I don't think more government is necessarily the answer either, but President Obama says the answer is not to put more guns in public schools, like somehow guns are inherently by themselves without an evil person behind them, responsible for the deaths, that guns themselves are causing it. No, as Wayne LaPierre also says, Matt, the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Well, and in fact, you remember the shooting in the mall out in Oregon?
Yeah.
Remember that, where the guy went into the mall and he started shooting and eventually put the gun on himself? What was not picked up in the news was what stopped him. It wasn't the police. It was another shopper. That shopper pulled out a gun and pointed it at him. He did not pull the trigger because he was concerned he didn't get a good, clean shot with other people running around. The shooter saw him being aimed on by this other shopper and backed himself up into the stairwell and pulled the gun on himself and killed himself. It was that shopper that was armed that ultimately stopped more killing in that mall. But going back to Columbine, President Clinton said that we needed to have 100,000 more policemen on the streets. As part of that bill that he pushed, it was going to put armed guards in the public schools. And that was being pushed by the left. Now when NRA suggests that, the left decries it as something ridiculous. And yet that's exactly what Democrats and President Bill Clinton was proposing back post-Columbine. This president here, when he was a state senator, he answered a political questionnaire. And in that questionnaire, he said that he wanted to ban what he calls assault rifles. And also he wanted to ban handguns. Let me just say that again. He responded to a questionnaire that said he wanted to ban handguns. So all this rhetoric about these military-style rifles, as he calls them, is just ultimately going toward his ultimate agenda, and that is to ban guns, period.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. And you mentioned this shooting in Oregon, that the tragedy that was prevented by an armed citizen. Another instance in San Antonio that I read about recently. They say don't mess with Texas. A disgruntled boyfriend went into a restaurant and then to a theater intending, I've read about this on several accounts, to shoot the place up, and shot and wounded one patron, was going to take out as many people as he could, and an armed off-duty female sheriff's deputy took him out because she was armed. So again, as Wayne LaPierre says, the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Yet this president wants to remove the guns from the hands of the good guys. And there's something to cliches. They say if guns are outlawed, only outlaws will have guns. We see that manifesting itself over and over again in these gun-free zones.
Well, Switzerland has a very low crime rate. And what's interesting about Switzerland? They require people to have guns. And in fact, the Swiss don't have a standing army. So the people, all the males, they go through military training, and the households have guns. This is part of their system. They are their own armed militia, the people. And there is very little crime in Switzerland. So it's not the guns that cause the problem. And in fact, oftentimes it's the guns that stop the problem. Yeah. But what ultimately happens is, and the founders realize this, if you disarm the people, you ultimately allow a government to become tyrannous. Right now, we have, at least I've heard projections of 40 million gun owners in America. That alone would be the largest militia or army in the world. And all these gun owners have more than one gun, so if you actually multiplied that by probably 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you're talking about the largest militia in the world. This is a basis of freedom. Some people don't understand that, but our founders clearly understood it because they realized that tyrannous governments want to disarm people. And that's a liberty we can't afford to let go.
Well, the reality is you don't start tinkering with the Constitution because it becomes inconvenient to your radical liberal agenda.
Well, give us a call at Liberty Counsel, 1-800-671-1776. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org. That's lc.org. Ask for our brand new bumper sticker. It's called I Second the First. It has a Patriot Sentinel on that bumper sticker as well. Underneath it, it says, Amendments Worth Defending. I Second the First bumper sticker. You can call 1-800-671-1776 to ask for one, or others. You can ask for many. Or go to the website. Send us an email. lc.org is the website. Also remember to support Liberty Counsel in your regular prayers and your regular giving. You can give right online at the website lc.org, or you can email us information and we'll send it to you right away. Go to Liberty Counsel's website for more information and stay involved to protect our freedom.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.